What up, dude? And welcome to Let's Talk Detroit Lions Talk, brought to you by Detroit Lions on the Prowl and Lions Nation Unite. It's your man, Curt Steele. Today is Tuesday, December 13th, 2022. On deck for today's show, LL updates you on the Lions 2023 NFL draft positions for the first round. Coach Mike asks, will the real Alex Anzalone please stand up? And I ponder which veteran wide receiver will be in Detroit next season. Will it be Josh Reynolds, the Whoopie, or DJ Chark? But before we get into all that, man, it's time to bring in the rest of the crew, man. He's having a hell of a thirsty week over there on Instagram. It's your auntie's favorite player, El Guapo from the Yak Town, man. LL Cool Torrance. What's going on, my guy?
Hi. Happy Tuesday.
Man, y'all know who it is, man. It's the boxing pride of Jackson, Michigan. He's a defensive line coach. He's a chef, man. He does it all, man. It's the Wolverine. Who?
LL, not my damn auntie. Coach Mike Jones, what's going on, Lions fans?
Let's get this thing started
right now.
Let's go.
It's Detroit Lions talk, baby.
Welcome back to the show, people. Now it's time. I know it's a little early, but my man LL, he's been doing this for the past couple of weeks. So he's going to keep the party going and talk about the Lions' updated draft position after the week of play. What you got, LL?
Yes. My apologies if you don't want to hear it. Then, sit quietly for a couple more minutes. This segment won't be that long. But, just giving an update on the draft positions or draft positioning of our 2 first-round picks. As y'all seen, the Rams signed Baker Mayfield. I'm thinking like, hey, they might go number 1 now. But he actually won the game for them. But we didn't necessarily lose too much. We went from, because it's our pick, we went from 3 to 4. So with that, with the pick we're getting from the Rams, and this is all a part of that Matthew Stafford, Jared Goff trade, of course, but we all know that. But so with that pick, with our first round pick, our second first round pick from that draft or from that trade, we currently sit at number 4. And with our pick, we're currently sitting at 15. So, a top 5 pick and a top 20 pick or top 15 pick, you still we could, if we wanted to move up and do whatever, I hope that we wouldn't, but we could do that. If we wanted to, maybe move back with that first one and move up with the second one, we could do that. We got a lot of options out there, maybe as we just speaking about Michael Smith, this is one of the sayings I got from him. As the facts change, so can my opinion. Jared Goff might be ready to stay around for a while. We might could just, like I said before, build this thing on up. It don't even matter who the quarterback is. We just good on all levels. But just a couple of names, I guess, that, get for me. But these are the names that I'm looking at so far. Of course, some of these is more popular than the rest. But, hey, defensive lineman, Jalen Carter. Cornerback, if I'm saying it right, Kaylee Ringo. Guard, Osiris Torrance out of Florida. And maybe quarterback Hendon Hooker. That's how I'm looking at it falling. Maybe with our draft, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's our with our first 4 picks. That's what I'm kind of looking at right now. So, if you guys have any thoughts, have been looking at the draft, which y'all always respond with some good names. Don't say Max Duggan to me, or I'm gonna cuss at you. But let us know some of the names, or if you got any thoughts out there, draft position. What should we do? Should we trade all the picks? Should we splurge in free agency? What's some names you looking at in the draft? Let your boy know.
Now, I got a little bit different information, man. It's updated like 5 hours ago. We dropped again. We're 5 now because the Saints lost and the Seahawks lost. This is on NFL.com. So
I'm looking at ESPN.
Yeah, NFL.com. We're picking 5th because we got Houston, Seattle, who went up 1 with their loss, and Denver lost. That's why they went up. because the Denver lost this weekend. Chicago stayed number 3, and then the Saints lost, so that moved them up. And then with the Saints losing and the Rams winning, the Rams went down 1 and the Saints went up 1. So right now we're at according to NFL.com, we're at number 5. And then this is like a couple of hours ago, like 5. And we're recording at 5 o'clock in the morning, so this is like right after midnight. So looking at that, this most likely for me takes us out of position for either Will Anderson or Jalen Carter. It just does.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll be able to get either one of those guys sitting at number 5. That may lead to, in my opinion, the Lions may trade back and add an extra pick in the first round or in the second round. So, I mean, you can still add a cornerback, linebacker, safety, defensive lineman with those 2 picks. I think that those first 2 picks should be defense this year. You're just looking at the offensive side of the ball. I think we should draft the offensive lineman. I think we need a guard this coming up year, but I think we draft him later on in the draft. But you can definitely get either defensive lineman. There's a lot of corners in this draft too. There's a lot of corners in this. This is a cornerback heavy draft. So we can get a defensive lineman, either another defensive tackle or another edge rusher if we decide to move on from one of the guys that we have, and save some cap room. But because we're deep in the street on defensive ends right now, as far as veterans are concerned.
Yeah.
So, you're looking at it. I like the fact that you have some versatility, even at 5, because you might get a team that wants to get a quarterback, and they're willing to come and trade up to number 5 for that extra pick for that person. So being at 5 gives us a flexibility. You know what I'm saying? We hold a lot of cards in our hands, or you just draft the best player on the board. If if somebody else comes up and grabs a quarterback before us, then that may put either Will Anderson or Carter in play. I doubt it though. Those 2 guys are they're the cream of the crop of this draft. So unless somebody comes up and grabs Bryce Young or CJ Stroud,
well, no, because
which may happen. It may happen. That may be one of those 2 QBs. I feel like is going to get left on the board. I feel like somebody's going to get desperate and just want to move up and get them. Maybe they jump in front of New Orleans, or maybe New Orleans picks them up.
New Orleans picks a quarterback, because you got a couple of teams that want quarterbacks that's up in those top 5 picks.
That 5 pick goes to Philly, and I'm looking again, or number 4, however you want to look at it. Whichever 4, one is right.
Yeah, number 4.
Whichever one is right
goes to Philly. They're not picking a quarterback.
Yeah, so but
and my thing is
they might take a defensive lineman though.
But unless they pick somebody to replace Fletcher Cox, because you look at it, they picked up the big defensive lineman last year. Unless Jordan Davis, he's been hurt. So they may go defensive end. You never know what Philly may do. It's just interesting to see what's going to happen right there at that number 5 pick. But it gives Brad Holmes flexibility.
Too.
Who was that?
Brandon Graham getting long in the too.
Yeah, he is. So you look at the Philly, and you have a ton of defensive tackles and defensive ends. You look at how many guys that have declared from Clemson and their defensive line. They got a bunch of cats that's graded in the first round as well. You look at this defensive draft, it's a kind of a mixed bag. I can't, like most years, you can say this is an offensive heavy draft or this is a defensive heavy draft. This is kind of right down the middle from what we're seeing from the draft prospects. You got a bunch of guys.
I think it's offensive heavy. I think it's defensive heavy.
And then you have a lot of quarterbacks in this draft too. You got some wide receivers coming out as well. I mean, we'll see. I don't think the Lions are in line for a wide receiver. We'll talk about that in my segment and later on in this show. But it's just kind of, you have some versatility to kind of get who you want. And Brad Holmes is not above either trading up or trading back. So we'll see what's going to happen with old gunslinger, Riverboat Brad. We got a couple of gamblers on our team. They're not afraid to take no chances. Brad Holmes ain't afraid to do what he need to do, and neither is Dan Campbell. So we got some we got some guys who will take some chances, you know what I'm saying, both of those positions. But one thing I will say is that whatever they do, or whenever they do what they need to do, it's always in the best interest of the team. It may not seem like that in the first place or up front, but in the long run, it's in the best interest of the team.
Yeah. You know what? I think they're going to trade back. I think they traded up this draft, and I think they'll trade back next draft because I believe Brad Holmes is confident in his selection of talent. And I think we're gonna need a linebacker and a secondary player, first 2 picks. And I just see somebody jumping up to grab one. I think CJ Stroud or Bryce Young is gonna fall to that number 5 spot. And I think somebody's gonna jump up to grab him. And we're gonna get somebody's trade to be able to trade back like we had to trade up this year. So I don't know who that pick is gonna be, but I believe, I think we might actually steal 2 picks because the way we be doing business, I think we're gonna steal 2 extra picks.
Brad Holmes and that stick him up. He wears ski masks to the draft.
You know what I'm saying? So I think we're gonna steal 2 extra picks, man. So. And I'm just looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to him building this team, man. So yeah, whatever he do, I'm comfortable with it. But I feel like we're gonna trade back in this draft.
I got a question for you, Mike.
Okay.
So question back. Trade back, steal in the first, or trade back to the second? Because we talked about our second round picks before on this. Our second round luck on this show before. So trade back, steal in the first, or trade back in the second.
I'm not sure. Whatever deal is the best, that's the one that Brad Holmes is gonna take. So
we're gonna get a whole bunch of second round picks to not do nothing with.
Yeah. I would say this about this year's pick. When he's on the field, man, he's been playing pretty good, and I think he's pretty healthy going on the backstretch of the season. Josh Pascal's been doing his thing. He's been disruptive. What is that?
I'm just making fun about the second round.
Yeah, I hear you, because we have those guys that's been up and down. You got to look at DeAndre Swift, and you look at Levi Onwuzurike, and it's been way before even Brad Holmes, before Rob Quinn. You look at, we've had those kind of like iffy, you know what I'm saying, not iffy fun, not Val, calm down, not that iffy, but iffy picks in the second round of the draft. And I feel what you're saying, questionable, yeah, but I think we may end up with 3. I think we might end up with I think we'll still have two first round picks this year, but we might end up with 3 second round picks. Ah, dang. That boy Brad Holmes, man, he was listening to old 50 Cent mixtapes, How to Rob, because he be be sticking up, brother, in the draft with the picks, man. Hey, like the video, share the video, comment on the video, man. Y'all know how we do it. We use the comments from the comment section, because we're going to ask the family discussion topic right now. The family discussion topic is, who would you add to this team next year within the draft? So who or what position? I'm thinking we can get a top tier corner. We trade back, we can get another corner. I think we may have found that safety in Kirby Joseph. You think how he's going to mature next year? Put him next to Tracy Walker. Woo-wee!
Bring Deshaun Elliott back.
Man, what? Okay, that defense is going to look nice. But go ahead and put it in the comment section of the video, man. Y'all know how we do. We pick 6 of those things to read in the next show. We got that segment coming up here shortly in the show. But you know what we got to do, man. Hey, if you want to get yourself some gear or get your loved one some gear, go to Fanatics.com, man. We only got, 11 shopping days till Christmas Eve or something like that, man. So go ahead, go to Fanatics.com, man. They still can get you. It's going to cost you a little paper, but you still can get some gifts before Christmas right there at Fanatics.com. Links in the description below. And we ain't no secret. A portion of the proceeds from that link go to help us grow the content right here on Detroit Lions on the Prowl, your home for Detroit Lions news and rumors. Check us out on Lions Nation Unite. You know what it is. It's the ultimate virtual hangout for Detroit Lions fans. You got my man Rad over there. You got Dose of Dion. You got Everything King. Let's talk Lions. Whatever your cup of tea is for your favorite Detroit Lions content creators is right there in Lions Nation Unite. You can download the mobile app in the Google, Android, or Apple App Store, or you can just type in lionsnationunite.com in your web browser. And while you're over there, Get some game day gear at LNUshop.com. Get the real, not the fake. Why would you wear a shirt that don't even sell? It don't make no sense, man. So get yourself some real LNU gear at LNUshop.com. Hang out with us on DetroitLionsOnTheProwl.com, man. Don't be afraid of all them doggone comments over there, man. We got some bots going on. We're going to clean that thing up, man. And while you're over there, go to LionsOnTheProwlShop.com and be a part of the Prowl Nation and get yourself some Prowl Nation gear. Let me see how many days we got left. 18 days to the college football playoffs, man. And Coach Jones will hook you up over at Wolverine.com, man. Getting you ready for the college football playoffs. So if you're a Wolverine on Saturday and a Lion on Sunday, like everyone on this panel right here, go to Wolverine.com, man, and let Coach Jones hook you up with that Wolverine gear. Do your part in the fight against cancer. Grab some Grow Up gear by my man, Big Lion Man. That link's in the description below. Proceeds from the sale of that gear go to help the American Cancer Society of Michigan. And as always, follow us on your favorite social media platforms. We got TikTok, you got YouTube, you got Facebook, and as always, the Thirsty Week continues over there on LL's Instagram page. So go ahead and get that dude a follow, man. You know what I'm saying? Everybody aunties be over there anyway, so go ahead and check out my man LL Instagram page. All right, now it's time to talk to my man Coach Mike, man, about a defensive player who doesn't seem to be himself these days. What you got, Coach Jones?
No, you know what? At the start of the season, there were two defensive players that I was like, he got to go today. And that's Michael Brockers, which has faded to black.
Woo. He wearing that C for nothing. He wasting that letter C on your jersey. Well, you better give it back. Give it back.
His C is for chilling.
His C is for clipboard. What you
That's a good one.
Alex Anzalone. But you know what? I think Alex Anzalone, the rebirth of Anzalone, has attributed to the addition of Malcolm Rodriguez. I think Anzalone has watched the praise of Malcolm Rodriguez, has watched the things that Malcolm Rodriguez has done. And over these last 6 games, Alex Anzalone is playing downhill. He's playing downhill. He's scraping holes. He's shooting gaps. He's like a missile flying through the line of scrimmage and hitting guys behind the line of scrimmage. And that wasn't the Anzalone that we knew of last year. He wasn't hitting guys behind the line of scrimmage. He wasn't scraping downhill. He wasn't shooting gaps. I think maybe, because he was used in New Orleans as a third down cover guy. He had a very high cover grade, one of the best in the NFL for third down coverage. And I think he's just so used to that. That was his natural instinct that he just didn't play downhill. It didn't come natural to him to shoot gaps and play downhill because that wasn't his position. Much like a linebacker that played here a few years ago, that just wasn't his thing, man. But watching Malcolm Rodriguez attack, get praise, and see him do his thing, I think it's inspired Anzalone, and he's playing like a guy that I would renew his contract right now.
I think he signed a 2 year. Did he sign a 2 year deal last year? Or this year? Also, I think he did. He signed a 1 year deal. I don't know.
Man, I'm just saying. I know it sounds like I'm cussing, but I would right now. I would add a linebacker to the mix, and I'm keeping Anzalone, man, because when you get a downhill guy who can also cover, because now his coverage skills are not taking a hit like they were. They were because you were asking him to play downhill, and that just wasn't his suit. And because of that, his coverage skills were starting to fall behind because he was so concentrated on having to play downhill, and it just messed with him in coverage. But now that he is shooting downhill, his coverage skills have started to come back a little bit. And I just think he's becoming a more complete linebacker than he was. And, and I'm a big enough man to say, you know what? I messed up. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I can admit that. I can admit when I'm wrong. I can admit, you know what? I cast too early a judgment on Anzalone. You know what I'm saying? And you know what? You welcome back, bro. And if you want to stop by Coach Jones' crib, man, we sit down, have a cup of coffee, do whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, watch some He-Man episodes, whatever. What y'all got, man, on that? Alex Anzalone.
Here's my thing, and I agree with a lot of the same as you said. Alex Anzalone has finally adjusted to playing in the middle of the defense. I think this was the problem. Think about college. He played outside linebacker next to Jared Davis because Jared Davis played the inside linebacker at Florida. New Orleans, he was a situational coverage linebacker. He wasn't a starter. He was that kind of a situation. You bring him down on third down and, or long passing situations to cover, tight ends. So, and I agree. I think he was being pushed by those younger linebackers in Barnes and Rodriguez, man. I know he had to get tired of hearing about Rodrigo in camp. Rodrigo this, man, Rodrigo that. He was like, man, damn it, I'm here. So he's making plays all over the field, man. Here's the thing that really sets out for me, because you look at last year, Tracy Walker led the Lions in tackles. And we're like, you don't want your safety leading your team in tackles. But guess who's leading the team now? Mm-hmm. Alex Anzalone is leading the team in tackles. That's what you want. You want your linebackers to be leading the team in tackles, man. He's been all over the field making plays in the run game, in the pass game. It's just one of those things. Thor is proving proving the reason why Campbell and Holmes thought he would be a good fit in Detroit. He just had to learn the scheme, and now he's caught up. He's caught up to the defense. He's caught up in learning, and he's just really making him play. He's playing more. He's playing more natural. He's not thinking on the field. He's just reacting. He's just going and getting the ball, and making the play. And he's got it out of his own head and out of his own way. What do you got, LL?
I'll say this, and Coach Mike, you might be a better man than what you think that you are, because sometimes it ain't about all of that. It wasn't even. I don't feel like you need. It was apology was necessary. You ain't gotta apologize for that, because when we was critical, it was necessary. He was playing like shit. He played like how he played, and it was necessary. But as the facts change, so can our opinion. He started to play a whole lot better. I hope it wasn't necessarily because of Rodrigo. I hope it was just because he finally wanted to play like he had a set. Because it was kind of around the time when everything changed. And I think in the middle of that, Rodrigo was out a couple games with his arm hurt, and Barnes that came in, and both of them had played real well. So maybe it was just time for him to step up and play like he got a bag of them.
And I remember I said this. One of the things that he took personally, and it wasn't even his coach. Remember I said that he said this. He said, what did I do to get Aubrey Pleasant fired? Right, right. And he wasn't even his coach, but he internalized that. And that was that was in that time where his play started improving as well. So, hey, whatever he doing, keep doing it, brother. You eating your spinach or whatever you do, eating kale salads or something, man, go ahead and keep doing that thing, feeling your body right, man. Hey, like the video, share the video, comment on the video, man. Be a part of the Prowl Nation family. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you know when you're getting fresh content from us right here on Detroit Lions on the Prowl. Yo, home for Detroit Lions news and rumors, man. You see LL down there with his cat, man. $1 million. Now it's time for me to go ahead and talk about my thing, man. Hey, the Lions wide receiver room was empty at the end of the Matt Patricia, Bob Quinn era. When the Lions took over, when Brad Holmes took over as GM, there was only one wide receiver that was signed on the roster. That was Quintez Cephas. Now the Lions wide receiver room is crowded as hell. And it's only going to get more crowded because guess what? Quintez Cephas is coming back from injury. His clock has started. So who stays and who goes? DJ Chark signed a 1-year deal with Detroit last year for $10 million. Josh Reynolds signed a 2-year deal, and he's set to make $4 million in 2023. Chark has been establishing himself as a deep threat all the last couple of games, and not just that, in the middle of the field as well. He's made a lot of catches over the middle. on these last couple games, man. He's just been established himself as a good wide receiver. He's healthy. Same with Josh Reynolds. Both these guys were kind of like hurt in that middle of the season when we didn't like had dudes coming out of off the Amazon truck and playing wide receiver for the Lions, man. And we just had some guys just, hey man, can you run a route? And that's one of those things. Now these guys are healthy, going down the stretch. You got Reynolds, man. You know what he is. He's the whoopee. He's the safety blanket for Jared Goff, man. But one thing I want to say this about Reynolds. That dude's a smooth ass route runner. He's clean in his. You can't really tell what he's going to do in his route.
What is he call him? The serpent of death or something like that? Yeah, the
serpent of death. The Dan Campbell call him, the praying mantis, whatever they call him. That dude's a pretty smooth route runner. And you really can't, at the top of his routes, it's kind of hard to see what he's going to do. And he makes sure he gets open. That's one thing. He has a knack for getting open. Now, here's where the problem is going to lie. The young fella is in the building. Jameson Williams has made himself known. Man, and one thing I would tell you, I didn't see it when I watched the telecast, but on that Justin Jackson touchdown run, the block that sprung Jackson was from Williams. He took out Josh Metellus. Yeah, I mean, he cleaned him out. So we got a player in Williams. So you look at this, right? With Williams, and then I haven't even talked about Khalif Raymond signing a 2-year deal. He's under contract next year as well. So you have this really loaded Lions wide receiver room. Williams is going to push somebody out the way. Is it going to be Chark? Is it going to be Williams? Because Chark is your down-the-field threat. But who the hell is faster on our team than Jameson Williams? Nobody. Not a nan nutter. So who's pushed out? Is it going to be DJ Chark or is it going to be Josh Reynolds? Because I will say this, Chark may have earned himself another contract if he keeps playing this way down the stretch of the season. But are the Lions willing to pay him another $10 million or $11 million next year with the salary cap going up? So I think it's going to be DJ Chark. I don't think he's going to be here next year. With all his good play and to be able to stretch and the ability to stretch the field, I think even Jameson Williams will be able to stretch the field even further than a DJ Chark. All right, so what do you guys think, man? Which one will stay? Which one will go? I think it's DJ Chark is going to be gone, but you guys let me know.
I'm with you. I think DJ Chark stopped here for his pit stop to rejuvenate his career. Josh Reynolds is the whoopee, man. Jared Goff ain't let him go. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just like a kid and his blankie. Jared ain't letting him go, man. But you know what? It is a possibility that we keep both. You know, with the salary cap going up, I don't know, you know, how much money they're gonna have in their cap exactly, but DJ Chark might stick around. I mean, somebody might offer him a deal, which I'm more than sure that somebody gonna offer him, you know, about 14, 15 million a year. But they might keep both. But if they had to choose one, they're gonna keep Josh Reynolds, man. They keeping Jared Goff's Woods, man. They Goff, like, if Reynolds ain't playing, I ain't playing. Right? So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you look at it, I'm like, to me, it just makes sense for it to be Chark, just because of the fact that him and Jameson Williams are such similar type of players. So, but what you got, LL?
I'm going to say both. We're going to keep both because they both is cheap. We can. I feel like Josh Reynolds will stay here and we could pay him decently and, you know, still not break the bank.
He's under contract next season. He's making.
Oh, well, we ain't got to worry about it then. Yeah. But and then
probably Chark.
But with Chark, if I remember, I think we talked about it on this show before. But it's like his contract was like, if we let go of him, it's a 1-year deal, but we could keep him for up to 3 years, up to 12 million or something like that, or like 10 point something or other. So it becomes like if we decide to keep him, it becomes like a 3-year, $10 million deal or something like that, right? So I feel like we're going to keep them both, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm not misremembering that. But we're going to keep them both. Even if it wasn't that, I feel like we keep them both.
I think the second year was optional, was the team option, I do believe.
It was, basically what what it is that if we cut him this year, it will be a $10 million deal. He's under, it's a voidable contract for the next 2 seasons. So if we keep him this year, right? If we keep him next year, he gets a prorated bonus of $2 million, right at $3 million, and his cap number next year will be around $6 million. So basically, if we'd have cut him this year, it'd have been a $10 million deal. So basically, we got him next year for about $6 million.
Oh, so, yeah, we keep him. We keeping him.
We're keeping them both.
Think so?
That's right. We ride with 6 next year, unless they draft one and try to work him in there. But we ain't even say St. Brown. But you got St. Brown.
Well, St. Brown is the number 1 receiver.
Right. And this is me in no particular order. But St. Brown, Williams, Reynolds, Chark, Cephas, and Raymond. And all of them have produced this year except for Cephas because he ain't really got a shot. But, keep them on. Why not?
Okay. All right. Hey, I feel you. Yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, man, to go from your cup was 3/4 empty to that was overflowing with wide receivers, man. And it just brings me so much joy to see that, man, for our wide receiver room. Hey, like the video, share the video, comments on the video. All of these things help us get this content to more Lions fans just like yourself. Now it's time to do what I like to do. It's time for us to zip our lip and talk about what you had to say about the last show. It's time for the comment cards, baby. First up, it is Yeti Lutch 1. Okay, if I mess it up, please let me know in the comments how to say your name correctly. The punt fake though made me spill my beer. Damn. You know what though? That fake punt was like, hey, I got something else about that fake punt here in a minute when I get to my dessert. What you got, LL?
All right, friend of the show. Thanks for that comment. However you say that, King SJ says another Victory Monday is among us. Had to rock some gear into the office today after bringing Minnie back down to earth. Next order of business, grounding the Jets. So whoever yelled at me for calling him a bandwagon fan? I apologize. I don't think I did.
It was Joseph Murdoch, the law firm.
Yeah, but were you wearing it before? Like, don't start wearing it now that we're on a little heater. You know what I'm saying? That's when you become. But I feel like I know better of you, King SJ, and I hope that's not the truth.
I think that was just the extra walk his walk, talk his ish type of move. Because I wear Lions gear every day. My wife give me mad. She'd be like, "What, you got some other clothes?" Yeah, I do. I got a different Lions shirt to go with this next one. All right, what you got?
Southwest Lions says, guys, what impresses me about this win is that the Lions were not hitting on all cylinders. They made mistakes and struggled at times. But this team has matured. They hung in there and made enough plays when they needed to. Enough with the first-round quarterback talk. Goff is their guy in the top 10 in passer rating. If you want to draft one late, fine. The weakness is in the back-end secondary. Minnesota exploited that. Build your depth on defense and go Lions. And I do agree. I would actually take a quarterback maybe in the 3rd or 4th round. Just a developmental guy to put in there. But hey, you right on, man. Hit the nail on the head.
Man, Jared Goff's in the top 10 he's in the top 10 in a lot of passing categories this year. He's top 10 in touchdowns. I think he's top 10 in interceptions thrown. I mean, he's in the top 10 in a lot of stuff, man. He doing his thing. We didn't see that. Who would have thought would have said that about Jared Goff coming into this season?
Exactly.
Yeah. So Bob Maskey says this was essentially the first big game these young Lions have played. They were so fired up that their energy was coming out the wrong way at the start of the game. Once coach got them settled down, the penalties went down, and again, a young team learning a new thing. You know what? I have to agree with that. That's a great sentiment because they was like, hey, man, we know how to do this. Calm your asses down and let's get to our business. And they kept right on rolling and got that win on Sunday.
Yeah. Friend of the show, we on Top Doe 100 says, first off, thanks to you guys for doing this throughout the week. Most importantly, we were losing again and again. Glad to be a part of the Prowl family. My biggest takeaway is that we're about to be marching our way into the playoffs. especially if we get Evan Brown back this week. I'm guessing is what that's supposed to say.
Yep.
God bless you guys. Thanks, man. God bless you as well.
Brent DeWitt says, another victory Monday. This is a habit forming and love it. Ben Johnson has balls of brass to call that play to our new secret weapon, Panay Sewell. Also love the way Sewell slapped the defender away like a fly after the play. He did.
Show ass off me.
I like it.
Show ass off me. Don't touch my ball. This is my ball. It was funny. Thank you. That was the comment cards for today's show, man. Like the video, share the video, comment on the video, man. Y'all know what time it is. It's time for everyone else's favorite time of the show. It's time for Dessert with your man Curt. Grand 12. That's a coffee with your dessert today. It's brought to you by Delightful Bites, custom cookies and desserts for any occasion. Go over to the Facebook page, link in the description below. If you don't do the Facebook thing, go over to TikTok and Instagram, type in Delightful Bites and the search engine of those apps and watch all that beautiful desserts footage. If you like how they look, you'll love how they taste. Delightful Bites. Get your cookie on. Here's what's a telling thing about the Detroit Lions, the current Lions. CJ Moore, you know, he left early. He got released in training camp, and he went and he was on the Texans practice squad, right? He wanted to come back to Detroit. And I'm going to give you a quote that he had after the post game. He said, I was literally telling my agent, I want to come back to Detroit. This is a direct quote from him. I was like, I've been here when we've lost. I'm going to be here when we win. What? And I was surprised, you know, because I was surprised when they brought, I like CJ Moore. Remember, I said he was one of our special teams guy. He got released with that injury settlement, and then he signed to the practice squad. And I was like, man, I like CJ Moore. And what has he done since he'd been back? He's had two of those successful fake punts, and he's always all over the special teams anyway. But that tells you that Detroit is going to be a place where people want to be and want to come. So that's your dessert. With your man Curt, Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, we're turning this thing around, man. And it's showing on the field, and it's going to start showing off the field as well when we start hitting free agency and things of that nature. You're going to get people who want to come to Detroit. That's all I'm saying. And it's fun right now to be a Lions fan. But that's your dessert with your man Curt, brought to you by Delightful Bites. Delightful Bites, get your cookie on. Now it's time to take that quick walk on over to the Wall of Fame, baby. First up in our bronze members, we got Bob Korowski, Nomus J, Benny Siegel, Rich Bean, and Joe Mo, baby, along with Timmy Burch and a couple other people. For our silver members, we got Cap Ice Cold, John Martin, Henry Wallace, and Mr. Scotty the Bear, Baguettes, and all that. What's up, Frenchie? What's going on, man? And our gold members, we got Mr. Reliable, Michael Hutt, Turner Burley is back in the building, Lionel of Douchebagia, Dominic Davis, Just in the D, and the Doctor, Dr. Detroit. He is always in. Watch that community tab tomorrow for the Gold Members Meeting link, man. You know how we do it on Wednesdays at 3 o'clock. Come and hang out with us, man, for our Gold Members Meeting. Is always some fun. We talk Lions football. We talk life. We talk a whole bunch of stuff in there, man. It's just a great time to bond as Lions fans in the Gold Members Meeting. Now it is time for final thoughts for today's show. LL, you up first, brother. What you got?
Happy Tuesday. Have a great day. Be kind. And don't try to act like Jared Goff deserves an apology. He played like shit, and I said it. He tried to get the ball away how many times where he did get the ball away, and I said it. So,
man,
I'm glad you're playing better, man. That's all.
Stop acting like you
I don't even talk bad about him no more.
Yeah.
I say nice things, and we don't need to replace him. But, you know, keep it up. It's all about the next game. Keep it up.
Okay, I feel you, dog. You know,
don't listen to LL because he got the Jared Goff pajamas that snap in the middle. Yeah, what's going on? Hey, Lion fans, just take it up, embrace it, and hey, let's move on to next week and let's get on this hype train and keep this momentum going. Keep it going, like Daylight say. I'm gonna keep it going.
All right, man. For me, hey, Lions, keep it up, baby. That's what I'm doing. I'm like what you guys are doing, man. Keep firing, man. Let's go into New York, get another W, man, and keep on marching toward that postseason, man. I like what you're doing. And here's my thing: we win a couple more games, man. We not don't leave it in the hands of anybody else. Just take it in your own hands and make your own future. You know what I'm saying? Win, lose, or draw, I'm still gonna be here regardless, man. Making this content for you guys and being a fan. So I'm gonna rock my gear regardless. But you know, I get a little extra in it. You know what I'm saying? We keep stacking these W's, baby. But with all that being said, man, thank you guys for joining us right here in Detroit Lions on the Prowl, your home for Detroit Lions news and rumors, man. Tune in tomorrow, man. Our pregame stuff starts tomorrow, so we'll be looking at some of the stuff going on with the Lions and the Jets tomorrow. We'll have our full game preview on Thursday, man. But tune in tomorrow and stay right here, same bat time, same bat channel for Let's Sound Detroit Lions Talk, brought to you by Detroit Lions on the Prowl. Hey, it's Two-Piece Tuesday. It's Taco Tuesday. It's whatever you eating Tuesday, man. And if you enjoyed your lunch, man, go ahead, wipe them crumbs off your face, man. Finish your drink and get back to work, baby. And whatever you do in life, you got to boss up, ball out, and be the best version of you that you can be. For my fellas, LL and Coach Mike, this is Curt Steele, and we will holla at you real soon. We love you, Jim.